Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. Hello and welcome to Season 3 of BashBots.
Let the bot bashing begin.
It started with 48 robots.
That may be one of the quickest knockouts of the tournament so far.
And my Gronic is dominating this fight right now.
Each with only one goal.
And at the end of it all, they will get to raise this, the giant wrench.
Blood, sweat, tears and gears. One by one, they were eliminated.
This is gonna be a knockout!
Rookies shined. Legends were made. Upsets occurred. And now, only 4 bots remain. The hard-hitting veteran who has won every fight by knockout.
This has been blown to bits!
The intricate control bot who has found success through adaptation. The high-flying flipper who has overcome insurmountable odds.
Out of the arena again!
And the Season 1 champion, the deadliest spinner in the competition.
It's a devastating blow by Sparks!
Final 4 will battle it out in 3 epic matches. In the end, only one will rise to rule them all. They will raise the giant wrench, basking in the glory as the BashBots Season 3 champion. 44 bots down, 4 remain. The stage is set. The bots are ready. The box is locked. The lights are on. Let the finale commence!
Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are around the world, welcome to the season finale of BashBots Season 3. I am your host, the Dominus Ignis, and this is the culmination of the greatest video game robot combat tournament of all time. 48 robots from 12 different countries started out in this tournament, and after some of the toughest and most destructive battles we have ever seen, only 4 remain. They are competing for the chance of a lifetime. Only 2 fights separate them from becoming the BashBots Season 3 champion and raising this trophy, the Giant Wrench, etching their name in the history books. The winner of each of our semi-finals would take a spot in the championship final at the end of the night, where we will crown the champion. Taking a look at the bracket, we can see those semi-finals. On the left, the number 8 seed Mars will take on the number 5 seed Season 1 champion Sparks. On the right, the number 10 seed Cosmo will take on the 11 seed Atlas. We're going to get things going with Mars and Sparks battling it out for a spot in the final. Let's take a look at how they fought their way into the semi-finals. Throughout the tournament, Mars has shown excellent skill and durability. The front of the robot had no issue taking direct hits from Tankoff in the round of 32, and after making it past one of the deadliest vertical spinners in the competition in the quarterfinals, Robo Bowler will be feeling good coming into this fight. Sparks has had no easy path to this stage in the tournament, colliding with the Season 2 champion Polis in the quarterfinals. They were almost flipped out of the arena 7 times, but excellent driving and damage dealt won Sparks the judge's decision. Let's send it down to the damn Beaver to break down the first semi-final fight.
Well, here we are. In just half an hour or so, we will have another BashBots champion. But for now, let's get the semi-finals out the way. Sparks is well on the way to reclaiming its title, proving definitively that what happened last year was pretty much a fluke. It's been charging through brackets, taking down so many robots that boast a brilliant defense, and now it comes up against yet another. Mars, on the other hand, has been the opposite of a slouch though, taking on and defeating Tranquilizer, the number 1 seed, and I'm sure many people's pick to win the entire competition. It could be the one to stop Sparks, but let's see what the stats say before we make any assumptions. Mars outdoes Sparks in every category but weapons, which I don't think we can blame them for. Really, to me, this seems like a case of saying if Sparks can take down Mars before Mars eventually controls and defeats Sparks. It's a race against time for Sparks, so let's see if it's going to win it, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! Let's bring out the bots! In the red square from Northern Ireland, it'll need to throw more than its namesake to win back its crown. It's Sparks!
And Sparks, the Season 1 champion and our highest seed left, even though they are only rated 5th. They just came off the back of a very close win against the reigning champion Polis. Now they've got a real underdog up against them.
In the blue square from England, you'll need a rocket to get back home if this thing flips you. It's Mars!
And here is said underdog. It's Mars, the number 8 seed. It's been in a couple of close, contested fights so far, and now it's going to have to deal with another devastating spinner. There's its win over Avert, the number 1 seed, in fact. Now it's got the former champion, the devilish Sparks.
So up against another flipper bot now. Mars looks like to be pretty much the perfect ship to try and deflect my shots away, so I'm probably going to have to try and mix it up a little bit this time. Maybe try some mind games, try to bait him into flipping early, that type of thing, to try and create an opening.
I think this version of Mars can take on a horizontal pretty well. The front is very well armoured, and but all the squishy bits are at the back. So if I get hit and I get spun around and he hits me in the back, that could be it. So the goal is to just not let that happen.
Now Mars may be that number 8 seed, but I feel they've been the underdog story of this tournament. Such a strong record of wins, and Sparks would be an incredible addition if they can pull this off.
Four remain. Who can take the first place in the BashBots Season 3 title fight? Wow! Impressive stuff there from Mars, lifting Sparks up and into those grinders before righting itself afterwards.
Another little panicky flip over afterwards, but they have regained composure. Ooh. And oh, there's the panic again. This time their self-righting is intercepted by the body of Sparks, but by a hair. They got away with it. Not so much that time though. That's a good connection from Sparks.
Yeah, very interesting engagements early on here already. You see the panic from Mars. Sparks is a bit curious and tentative itself, and understandably so. The driver did say that he was looking to be a bit more unusual in his approach. He has to put it in more of a varied way than against Polis. There's less to catch, and it was Sparks catching a big impact there, but then catching a panel on the side of Mars.
Dramatic response from Mars though. If that were a little bit closer to the wall, that could have ended the fight right there. Sparks is starting to rack up that damage though. In fact, that's the first bit of damage we've probably seen.
Was Sparks immobile there for a second? Is there mobility issues? No, okay. Just dormant for a split second, maybe regaining its senses. And honestly here, this is building up to be another incredibly close fight involving Mars!
Yes, and you know what? I think Sparks has just kind of abandoned its unusual style of driving. They've started going for the head-on hits, but it has worked out. Yes, they're inverted right now, but they are constantly throwing Mars over, and they are the only one to have done any real damage in this fight so far.
Yeah, Mars is trying to control its tendencies to rush in now. It is being less panicky as this fight goes on, but at the same time, that is allowing Sparks to get in attacks of its own. Good flip there, though.
And Arena Spike just getting in everyone's way. Get that out of here. This is the top 4 now. We're not interested in your pit or your spikes. the grinders maybe, the Uta zones maybe from Mars's point of view, but we want to see these robots fight, and fight they are doing.
You can tell a place in the finals up for grabs here. This has been incredibly close. And both machines have given it their all, but also they're aware of each other. They respect each other. And is one of them capable of something incredible in this closing minute?
Well, Mars, they've had such good control over the past 30 seconds or so, but the chassis almost looked like it was gonna split after that big hit from Sparks, and there goes another one of those little pods on top.
15 to play. Sparks clipped up off the top of Mars. Sparks reversing, trying to get a hit in on the turn. Mars holds firm. 9, 8, 7. Few seconds left. Mars spirals aside on its back. Flips back over. Oh, goodness me.
Oh, you want to run out the clock there. They did not fall down the pit. It will go to a judge's decision, but that is another barnstormer of a brawl. Against Sparks, thrown into the wall. We've seen so many cute little runs from Mars. Every time you think that they're about to go out, they just take the fight to their opponent and absolutely launch them up into the air. But they did take damage, they did take repeated hits from Sparks, and again, if your robot is designed to win on control, can you forgive those misflips? We'll see what the judges think.
The judges' results are in! We have a split decision! The winner is... Mars!
And winning the judges' decision after a thrilling battle, the number 8 seed Mars defies all expectations to claim the first spot in the championship final. It's time for the second fight of the night as Cosmo and Atlas battle it out to fight Mars in the final. Let's take a look at how these two teams fought their way into the semi-finals. One of the most unrivaled bots of the tournament, Business Cat and Cosmo have been on a path of destruction from the get-go, smashing 3 of 4 opponents out of the arena, including the tournament favourite Amber. Atlas, however, has been quite unrivaled itself, dominating all 4 of its matches, most notably against the 6 seed Claymore and the 3 seed Thunderwave. Fighting a vertical spinner will certainly be a harder match for a control bot like Atlas, but with Freeman behind the controls, anything is possible.
In the red square, from England, it has proven it can lift far more than just the heavens. It's Atlas!
And the number 11 seed, the lowest one left, this is Atlas, but they are not to be underestimated here in the top 4. We've seen a monumental run from them in this bracket, including a gigantic win over Thunderwave.
In the blue square, from the USA, it might actually not be all that bad after all. It's Cosmo!
Completing this semi-final matchup is Cosmo, the number 10 seed to Atlas's 11th. It's had a massive win of its own to get to this stage, and here is that monumental impact over Amber. Another one of the tournament favourites were felled, and it's Cosmo against Atlas in our second semi-final fight.
Alright, so I was kind of planning to go against Spoodle. This is going to be interesting, considering Cosmo somehow pulled up the upset. I don't know. We'll do what we always do, try and get him in the drums. I think we might have to go for the pit this time, because we lack the KO potential. Yeah.
This one's going to be a lot more driving skill, I think, because I have to line up perfectly before I get even near him, otherwise he's going to get under the side of my port. So it's just the plan of going straight at it and ripping him to pieces with my 13 lambs on my motors!
Cosmo, a tried and tested design, but with more motors than ever, while Atlas, very much an experimental robot in this deep stage of the tournament, but you'll love to see it. Who's gonna win this one?
Two machines very similar in height and width, but in terms of weaponry, they couldn't be more different. And it's Atlas with a cheeky little overturning of Cosmo in the opening stages here.
Yes, this is not what we expected, I would say. Cosmo, one of the lowest wedges in the sport. They struggled a little bit with Amber, but Atlas is just taking it to them and into those arena hazards.
Into a single fight, Atlas seems to do something impressive, but that's a good attempted response from
you
Cosmo.
don't want to back into the spinner, though!
Oh.
And that is a costly mistake as they tumble over the wall with a wheel missing. Can they make it back in? We will have the count out open.
Oh, is it a gut-wrenching end here for Atlas? It can't wriggle itself free. Oh, that bright start just absolutely blitzed out in a matter of seconds afterwards from Cosmo. Impressive, but sad.
Now Atlas is absolutely going to be thinking about that mistake for weeks to come, because look at this promising start, getting behind the back of Cosmo, ramming them into the grinder. It's all going their way in this until they're flipped over by that cheeky little blow, and then on the recovery, foolishly backing right into the spinner. They soon lost the wheel, the hope, and the spot in the box.
And claiming a 4th out of the arena of the season, Cosmo defeats Atlas to take the 2nd spot in the championship final. They will head back to the pits to prepare for their battle with Mars in what should be a thrilling final fight to the season. Before that though, it's time for the 3rd place playoff between Sparks and Atlas.
Well, I think in this one I'm just going to wing it and see what happens, since I'm not really sure who I'm fighting. But yeah, screw it, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Basically the same as what we did to Thunderwave, box rush them at the start, and then get him with the drums, try and get him out of the arena, try and make it a good fight, 3rd place playoff, nothing to lose. Good stuff.
Atlas bringing out their famous anti-horizontal wedge, but will it be enough to take down the biggest horizontal spinner in all of BashBots? 3rd place is on the line.
And away we go in the fight for 3rd, and Atlas showing that this isn't going to be one of those half fights. It wants that spot on the podium, and it's harassing Sparks already early on with that big, chunky, wide plow.
Yes, and of course, anyone who can defeat Sparks, no matter what stage of the tournament it is, that is always a huge statement. Only 4 robots now have managed to do it, off the back of that very tight win from Mars in the early stages of the episode. But Atlas is going for blood here on Sparks. They want to be the next.
Yeah, Sparks just struggling to find any sort of space to work in early on here. The spinner just can't turn around and find good corners, but then Atlas gets caught up by the arena spike of all things and is punished by that devastating weapon.
This has been the story of Sparks all season long. You can date all the way back to season 1 where they were just completely unopposed. They could go at everything and just blow it to bits. It has not been an easy ride for them this season. Their opponents have been particularly well armoured, very resistant to that spinner, but they still find a way to do enough damage. Can they do a little more here to Atlas, who is coping relatively well on 3 wheels right now?
Yeah, in terms of movement, Atlas is still A-okay. Can it keep its head though, and just keep controlled and composed like in that good opening stage it had? Hit button enabled and immediately pressed and clicked by Sparks, which is being propped up against the arena wall and devastatingly near to going out.
Yes, so hard to get a robot over the wall with one of those electric type lifting weapons, but they really had a good opportunity there nonetheless. The weight was balanced in just the right way, but Sparks, such a big machine, it slipped away. Back onto the floor flipper. I love the deliberate use of the floor flipper from Atlas. So many robots will end up on there just by mistake, if anything.
There we go again.
This is absolutely intentional, and the pit might be next.
It might well be. Sparks overturned again. Atlas harassing again. We've seen the big damage come from the number 5 seed. terms of control, Atlas has kept its pacing throughout this one. And can it give us a big finisher? There we go again. Lovely cute play by Atlas onto the flipper. Oh, not so much there. Could be punished. It's clipped. And Sparks is flung too. Atlas knocked by the grinders and then back on its wheels.
I'll have to see if that weapon still works after taking a direct hit right to the mechanism in the centre there. They're carrying on wedging for now. But they're getting closer to that pit. You don't want to be there.
And an excellent third place playoff. And there's 9 seconds to play in it. Spark up against the wall. Ooh, danger there for a second. Still danger! And the danger is complete! What a last second pitting by Atlas! The third place in BashBots!
Well, I was all getting ready to analyse if that weapon was even still working going for a judge's decision, but we are not going to need one. That was going to be so decisive. This was entirely a case of, do you go for the 3 minutes of driving dominance from Atlas or the damage of Sparks? But thankfully, the judges get to go home and have a cup of tea here because third place has been claimed by Atlas in a dramatic last second finish.
Winning the judges' decision, Atlas claims third place in the tournament as the Season 1 champion has to settle for fourth. It's almost time for the championship final as the builders are just weighing in their robots now. As they prepare for the final fight, we have a treat coming your way. For the first time in BashBots history, 10 robots will step into the box for an end of season rumble. It's gonna be chaos inside the box and you won't want to miss it.
The big BashBots party is already underway and chaotic. The 10-way rumble and Slapshot's gone already, is it? No, not quite like it. A tire's gone off Panther. Someone's gone flying. That sucker punch. Angel Dust went flying. Micronic on his back and flipping. Oh, this is a perfect start.
Well, where do you even begin? Panther going for a self-right, Micronic getting battered. They've gone for the flipper in this one instead of their vertical spinner, maybe looking to conserve battery life. This does have a 3-minute timer. This is not last man standing. It waits to be seen how many will be standing at the end. Well, the front wedges of someone are gone.
Someone's forks or streamer just went flying out the arena there. Thunderwave spent half the fight upside down. Micronic spent half the fight in the air. That Manticore flipping and flying and Slapshot following him from pressure on Panther. Sucker Punch has lost a tyre. Tracker is just flicking away. Ryuka Shin's lost most of its tyres. This is absolute bedlam out there.
But meanwhile, something that is worth noting about the pit, it actually closed for a moment and then reopened. So even if somebody falls down there, they might just randomly be reinserted into the playing field a minute later.
Well, as things stand, I think every single machine is active, though Manticore was on its side for a bit there, but no, it is back over. And that's Hospice tumbling towards our camera. Micronic spiralling again. That's Angel Dusk also doing similar, and Thunderwave being harassed again. Oh, Sucker Punch in trouble that time. Oh,
right on the edge of the wall, yes. Meanwhile, Micronic, I think they've spent more time upside down and in the air than they have actually on their wheels driving around the box.
The durability of these machines is absolutely commendable. Everybody is still in contention here. Though with a few panels and tyres and weapons and Streamex missing, but you know, they're still ticking along as Tracker comes in with a big curl there on Angel Dust.
Oh, that's a massive spin, throwing a vertical spinner directly into the wall for maximum recoil damage. The judges will have hopefully noticed that one, but no guarantees. Thunderwave is the first to go by the looks of things, falling into that pit. Unless it's randomly brought back up again, I wouldn't advise it.
Hospice is jammed in with the grinders up there.
And Panther falls into the pit as well. They're starting to drop like flies all of a sudden.
Well, we might be able to start to get a bit of control over commentation in this fight then, but the pace is ridiculous! The Micronic has gone flying, and then some! Oh my goodness!
Now, Hospice has just about re-entered the playing field, and they may have put Lygronic in the pit there. No, it's a little bit too full. I'm not sure if they're in contention, but the judges are going to have an absolute headache working this one out. 10 robots came in, and 8 could potentially be winning.
State of it.
Wow. Just look at all of the action going on. You don't even need my highlight commentary. Just make up your own. Watch it about 10 times over and you'll notice something new. That's one of the most critical points. You could say that Tracker was the one directly responsible for one of the few KOs in this match, getting Thunderwave into the pit. Not sure Panther's really attributable to anyone. Did Tracker do enough to anyone else? I could say anything here.
An entertaining rumble, to say the least. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you have all been waiting for. Mars and Cosmo are about to enter the arena for the championship final of Season 3. So let's send it down to the damn Beaver for one last time to break down the match.
And here we are once again. The end of another series of BashBots, and there's only one thing left to do. Crown a champion. Over the last few weeks, so many beautiful, creative and dangerous robots have fallen, and now only 2 stand, Cosmo and Mars. Let me tell you, if this was any other fight, I'd be making so many space puns you'd want to throw me into a black hole, but this is the final. The time for puns is long gone. Let's just check out the stats, shall we? Mars has delivered 2 massive upsets in the past 2 rounds, defeating 2 extremely destructive robots in Tranquilizer and Sparks. But Cosmo has proved itself to be more than destructive, having the sheer launching power to defeat all but one of its opponents by out of the arena. Mars has the edge in aggression and weapons, while Cosmo holds a numbers advantage in armor, with both robot side and mobility. What does this mean? Well, this fight is extremely close on paper. Mars will get the most attacks in, but things won't be flying off Cosmo easily at all unless Mars gets in the perfect flip, which is as likely as you might think. Really, there's only one way to see this fight, and that's in practice, so for the last time this season, let's get down to the arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the championship match! Here are your finalists! In the red square, from England, even the sky appears to be too low for it! Introducing the first finalist, Mars!
So the first to enter the arena, the number 8 seed Mars. They are the higher of the 2 seeds in this matchup, but are they the favourite? I wouldn't have said so. Cosmo backing a lot of experience on the way here. Mars, they had such surprising wins against Tenderlock, Tranquilizer and Sparks, but they are here in the final.
In the blue square, from the USA, dear God, it's good! It's actually good! Introducing your second finalist, Cosmo!
And here is machine number 2, Cosmo. What a season it has been for this machine. It's always had promise, always been consistent, but is this the season where it does go all the way to glory? It's beaten many a machine, it's shattered many a machine, and it's beaten a favourite or 2 along the way as well. Mars and Cosmo, and out of this world type of matchup, which of these 2 can take the title in BashBots Season 3?
Similar to Fighting Boost, just try and get underneath with the forks, flipping around and that. We're both sponsored by Chunksters, so win or lose, we get the sponsored program.
Seeing as I'm in the finals, I want to thank my sponsors, notably Chunksters, Inaudible, Bottle Bats, Mobot, Max Amp, Scary's Wars, Dong Energy, Vex, and NPC, and my greatest sponsor of them all, Ryan Hamburgy. He is the one who provided me the 14th lem for this fight, okay? And I am ready. I'm gonna beat that flipper up, and it's going out of the arena.
You have the flipper, you have the vertical spinner, and either way, you have Chunkster's chicken, apparently. This is the grand final. Here's your suspense. Who's going to win this one?
The biggest bot battle of the lot. Mars and Cosmo engage for the first time of potentially many, with 3 minutes to make their name and take the title.
And immediately we've seen Mars sneaking around the back there of Cosmo, but they are taking a hit. You know, we saw how the match against Atlas went. Atlas was beating Cosmo quite comfortably, then they exposed that backside. We've seen panicky flips from Mars in the past, but it hasn't cost them any judges' decisions so far. This is close out of the gates.
Both machines have their strengths, both machines have their weaknesses that both of them can exploit, and it's Cosmo trying to do exactly that here with an overturned and in danger Mars! Oh!
And it's getting worse, they just can't get that front wedge back on the floor without taking more damage. Cosmo said they wanted it out of the arena and they're really going for it.
Really trying as their mightiest might could do there, Cosmo. But Mars is back in the centre of the arena, scooping and flipping. And Cosmo is the one flying now and on top of the screws. Should be able to get down, but you just never know. There's a count-out starting here. Can it get out?
Oh, you wouldn't want it to end like that. The count-out has been cancelled. They have re-entered the fray and done another hit to Mars there. But if we have another situation like that, can Cosmo get away?
Excellent final so far. Both machines have had their moments and spells, and big dominant spells. The pit button is enabled. Who knows if that will come into play this time?
Oh, those front forks of Mars stopping its escape from the pit. Were that the floor flipper, they could have been lunged, but into the grinder goes Cosmo again. This is a concerted effort from Mars. They've been way less panicky with that flipper in this match. They've waited the moment until Cosmo is stable and facing the arena wall, and they have fired shots just like that.
Controlled stuff from Mars. Is it champion clinching stuff? Oh, you bet it is! Mars has done it! With a fling for the win! The champion, there it is in your bottom left corner. Mars has done it! And it has won this Red Planet Rumble, alright? There it is! Dancing, a bit of confusion, but there's the exhilaration, there is the excitement, and there is the celebration. Your champion of Season 3 BashBots is Mars!
Punksters, man! We took him to the final. Free chicken for life.
No arguing with that one. A straight knockout to take home the title. Look at this, Mars. You never could have suspected it throughout this tournament, but they just were so low to the ground, so controlled, better controlled as the tournament went on, in fact. And although I might have said Cosmo had a slight advantage for a good portion of this match, this was never over until it was over. And Mars, they got away from that situation that could have ended it right there and then. That was a perfect flip towards the grinder, which even got a count out in play. But the aliens invaded. They said that Mars would attack, and attack they did. They kept up the pace, and eventually catching Cosmo on that gyro, not even the arena spike could stop their assault. Once they slipped underneath, this was the critical attack that ended BashBots Season 3. Well done, Mars.
And there we have it. Wow. What a great fight to end the season, and it's been a really fun one to be part of yet again. Big thank you to Kroger for all his hard work as always. He puts in so much work to make this all happen. So do the Roboteers, of course, and all their fun and varied designs. And a thank you to you guys as well for watching. Really appreciate the support you've given this channel and this series. And it's not quite over yet. Make sure you check out Grogu's channel as well. We'll be posting some of the unaired fights that were highlighted during the season. And hopefully, it won't be too long until Season 4.
And so the Season 3 BashBots champion has been crowned! From England, Mars, driven by RoboBowler, has overcome some of the toughest robots in the competition to take home the giant wrench. 48 builders entered this tournament 9 episodes ago, and now only one remains. Mars is your new BashBots champion! We thank you all so much for taking this journey with us, and we hope you enjoy the season as much as we did. For the last time, good night, and we hope to see you in Season 4!